Ramana Maharshi's words are deep and direct. My comments are intended to bring his deep words into your experience. Use YouTube's closed captions to read along. A gentleman from Ambla asked how to reach the heart, and Ramana responded, "Where are you now that you want to reach the heart? Are you standing apart from the self?" The devotee says, "I am in my body." Maharshi, in a particular spot or all over? Devotee, all over. I am extending all over the body. Maharshi, wherefrom do you extend? Devotee, I do not know. And the Maharshi says, yes, you are always in the heart. You are never away from it in order that you should reach it. Consider how you are in deep sleep in the waking state. These states are also not yours. They are of the ego. The consciousness remains the same and undifferentiated all through. Disciple, I understand, but I cannot feel it so. Maharshi, whose is the ignorance? Find it out. Disciple, all this is so difficult. Maharshi, the idea of difficulty is itself wrong. It will not help you gain what you want. Again, I ask, who finds it difficult? Devotee, I see that I am coming round to I. Maharshi, because you are always that and never away from that. There is nothing so simple as being the self. It requires no effort, no aid. One has to leave off the wrong identity and be in his eternal, natural, inherent state. The disciple asks the question, how to reach the heart? And Maharshi responds by asking the question, the disciple, where he is currently standing. That is, what identity is the questioner currently holding to? Maharshi says that if the disciple is standing apart from, as something different from the changeless self, then they are not in the heart. Saying heart, what Ramana is referring to is not any physical heart, but rather the spiritual heart, which is where the being and consciousness that make up our very existence comes from. This is not any physical location. Ramana tells us to look into this. Where does the sense of I come from? The disciple responds that they are in their body, meaning their stand is as a body. He says it's extending all over the body, not in any one place. Maharshi then asks, Where is this extending from? To which the disciple admits they don't know. Maharshi then says that they are always in the heart, the spiritual heart, and never away from it. He reminds the questioner to consider deep sleep and the waking state. Maharshi says that these states belong to the ego. They appear and are known by the mind. But consciousness, the one who knows the mind, remains undifferentiated through both waking and deep sleep. Consciousness knows these states, but is not touched by any of them. The disciple admits that while they understand this conceptually, they cannot feel it. It is not his experience. Maharshi then asks the disciple to identify the source of their ignorance. Where does the ignorance come from? The disciple then replies, all this is so difficult. Maharshi continues to drive the questioner's focus within by pointing out that the idea of difficulty itself is just an idea based on a wrong idea of identity. And this idea will not help them reach their goal. Maharshi again asks the disciple to investigate and discover where the idea of difficulty comes from, and to inquire into this idea of identity. The inquiry, who finds it difficult, can bring the disciple to discard the idea of ego and recognize their own unchanging self. The answer is that the difficulty is just an idea of the mind. And you are not the mind, but rather the knower of the mind. The Upanishads call this the unknown knower of the known. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now to help you deepen your understanding and practice to know the self. Just click the subscribe button.